And we're live.
Alright, this is the long trip. What's up, guys? This is what, episode 8 now?
Number 8.
It is just us this time. We're still working on getting some guests in. I got some.
We have one scheduled for next week.
Yeah, I believe scheduled for next week.
July 8th.
I'm not 100%. I just gotta double check with her but she said she would do it. And so how was your week, Christian? Tell me about your week. Any updates on anything crazy? I've had a kind of mellow week on my side.
I thought of something earlier, but I completely spaced it. I haven't done much this week. We just had Taekwondo. Just practicing that right now.
Yeah, we're learning new shit on that. That's kind of a little fun. It's always nice to finally get to do
I'm
something
getting
else.
flexible.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've been stretching
finally-
every day.
Finally can touch my toes now.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I could only be able to touch like halfway down my shins, and now I can touch my toes.
This guy's a little fucking bitch when it comes to his flexibility.
I'll get
He
there.
should be kicking people in the head that are 7 foot tall. He's lengthy.
I'll be able to eventually.
I hope so. I think I could kick a little higher than you right now, maybe.
Maybe.
Which is
I feel like
stupid
they're
because
getting
you
better.
should be kicking way up higher than me. You got the
Hopefully.
length, you just don't got the flexibility. Your legs are just like elastic. It's just, I can get it this high and that's it.
They're getting better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I already tell from when we started to now.
Yeah, would she be considered our sensei? Is that what we call her? We just call her ma'am. But
Yeah, I
she
think.
was complimenting me on my kicks, so
Yeah, I think it's sensei. That's what I call her. I don't fucking really know. That's what I've called, or that's what it is in other martial arts. But I don't know about Taekwondo.
I went home this weekend. I didn't do much. Just kind of chilled with my family and saw them. My dad is back. Just got back.
Can I
from
sit
West
back?
Virginia. No.
That's all right.
He lives there, but he just came in town Sunday. I haven't seen him yet, but I'm leaving back for home either tomorrow or Wednesday. I don't think we work Wednesday, so that's why I'll probably head back tomorrow, but I have to make sure.
Wednesday's the 4th. You're not
Yeah.
working that day.
I don't think I was, but
Yeah,
I'll be heading home tomorrow, and then I'll see him. We'll have our 4th of July, spend a hell of money in fireworks, and then we'll go like to Indiana Beach or something, or somewhere. I know he wants to do some things.
Sounds fucking fun to me. It's always nice hanging out with family. Yeah, I only get Wednesday off for work, so I'm not even gonna go back home to Warsaw-ish area, cause I mean it's kind of pointless for me to go home for that one day, cause I got work Thursday, Friday, so it's like there's no point. I'm just gonna turn it up on Tuesday and have a little fun, maybe drink, cook some burgers or something, and be kind of chill, and
I'll probably go to the lake sometime too.
that's always fun.
I have plenty of days to do
It's hard
that.
to have a bad day at the lake unless you sink your boat, I guess. That would suck.
Yeah, but I'm not the one driving, so I don't have to worry. I'm driving jet skis. Though they're pretty big. They have some big engines. They're like a 4-cylinder in one of them.
Oh
It
yeah,
goes up to like 70 miles an hour.
I would ramp that bitch.
Oh god, it's scary sometimes.
I bet.
The first time I drove it was on acid.
Oh, I bet that was crazy.
That was literally actually today is my 1 year from the day I took my first tab.
Damn.
I looked at my flashback on my
Flashback
Snapchat,
things, yeah.
and it was me.
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, it's my 1 year since the first time I've ever done it.
Dang.
And so
Lots happened in a year, huh?
I've done it plenty more times. But it was probably one of the most beautiful days ever. We just were on the jet skis. We got pulled on the tube. John almost died that day.
That's cool.
'Cause,
It's always cool to have near-death experience.
We were going like 40, and he's on the tube, and that's pretty fucking fast when you're getting dragged.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we fucking I was on the back, like like watching him to tell the driver if he like falls off and everything. And John's getting pulled, and Jake's the one who's driving. and he's going like 40 miles an hour, right? And then he whips it and turns, and John just starts skidding across his tube, skids across whatever. But there's a bunch of boats driving, and he hits a giant ass wave,
Oh,
and he literally
damn.
flies like 10, 14 feet in the air.
I bet he
Down.
was crapping his pants when he was
Oh,
flying.
he was tripping balls.
Oh, damn.
He
I
was just,
I
like,
bet
ju-
he
we-
was freaking out.
Yeah, we just like started tripping right when we go in the middle of
I
going
bet
out
when he
there.
was sailing through the air,
He-
it probably felt like an
We went up
eternity.
to him, he's like, I think I broke my ribs. I can't breathe. I was like, John, you're fine. And then we got back on the tube and dragged him some more
Damn.
back to the thing, and then got off. But yeah, he almost died. It was scary though. His body was just flying through the air.
Yeah,
flinging. I was
dude.
like, and then I bet the water didn't feel good. I think he like landed on his chest.
Oh, yeah. When you're going that fast, it's, I mean, you'll just skip across it like a rock. It hurts.
It's fun though.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
But it's-
I always
it
have
gets
fun.
Scary.
It's a fun time.
What
So,
about your week?
my week was pretty chill, really. I didn't really do a whole lot. Worked a lot. That's about it. That's about all I do.
Are you doing anything for the 4th? Are you going home?
No, I just said that.
Oh.
I literally
high.
just talked about that. God damn it.
Are you working that day then?
I got off the 4th, but that's it. I got to work Thursday, Friday.
So you're not going home?
No,
that's,
I literally we had this
I know.
discussion. What the hell?
yeah. I'm high. I blame that.
Yeah, that's what I would blame. But so we got a just few topics we're gonna cover today. I don't really know.
There's not much research done on them. It's more all just opinion based.
Yeah, they're just talking about stuff,
Kinda
ideas that we have, thoughts in our head, crazy shit. You got one you want to go off of first, or do you want to hear my one?
Let's go with your one since you have one ready.
The one I was gonna say. So, I guess a topic that I think, or something that I think of, this is like my opinion, is all the democracies and all the governments, they just don't work. It's not ever gonna work. There's always gonna be corruption. There's always gonna be something wrong with it. There's gonna be a flaw. So, like, my thought process is I'm like, we are not meant to ever have that because we're just too flawed as humans. What we're meant to have is a king, like one person ruling everything, which sounds crazy as hell, like a dictator kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like what I mean by a king is it's like a person couldn't be it. It's got to be ruled by something more perfect than we are. That's why, like, they ruling a king, basically taking out all the human flaws that we have, being ruled by one thing that is making the better decisions for everyone without corruption. That one person has power. There, you don't have to worry about corruption because they're more perfect than we are. Like, that's what I mean when I say we have to have a king, and that's what we are meant to have. We will always have governments that are flawed. We'll always have kings that are flawed because they're humans. They just are flawed no matter what. We're crazy. People are crazy, and there's no way that like a government would ever work. That's why only one king, only one person is how it's supposed to work. But when you put a person in that much power, like Trump or anyone really, Trump's basically a king. But like they just get too much power. It goes to their head, and things start turning south. Hitler,
Yes.
bad things happen. But with a more perfect person or less flawed being as a king ruling over everything, that's how it was meant to go. It would just be more perfect that way. That's kind of like a crazy idea I have.
So what would be your idea of more perfect? Like what would be
Like
it?
God.
God. What about aliens?
Aliens, I don't think that they would, like, I bet they were more powerful than us and everything, but I don't think it would work out because I feel like even though they are different than us, they would have flaws.
I feel like if there's aliens that are onto space travel and reached us, I think they would obviously found some source of renewable energy, have
Yeah.
the energy to be
Yeah.
able to do shit like that. So I feel like they would be more logical in their reasoning and not emotional with all their decision making, especially being so far advanced
You're probably right.
because we're not that far advanced. We're still kind of like we're not that old yet. We're not even that evolved. We came a long way and we're evolving
Yeah,
faster
exactly.
and faster, but we obviously have flaws like you mentioned. Like we could destroy the earth and like we are technically as
Yeah.
we speak. And I feel like alien civilizations who are way farther advanced than us will just understood that they need to cooperate to survive.
Like as
and
a
expand,
race
yes.
or as like
like
the
a one
humans. Yeah.
nation
Yeah.
as
That
their own race and species.
That's
But we
also-
just haven't figured that out yet because we're all
I think we're getting there
corrupted
because we're
for-
having this conversation. You know what I mean? Like even 50 years ago, I don't think we'd even be having this conversation about.
it's information. We
Yeah.
have access to
Exactly.
information.
And so
And they
that's
can't
what.
hide it anymore. Government doesn't control it all anymore.
Yeah, what really needs to happen is we need to just disband all countries ever, all of them. Just disband them. Quit drawing lines in the dirt saying that's mine, that's yours, or you
Mhm.
know what I mean. Quit doing that, and just
We
collaborate
all
as a
own
fucking
everything
world.
and just advance and just
Imagine,
save ourselves.
imagine how much more advanced right now if we just with 3 other countries, Russia and Japan or China, if we just shared information with all of them, imagine how advanced we get right off the bat. Just the secrets we're keeping from them, that maybe some of them they know, maybe they don't, of just technology that we're withholding from the world, basically. You know, and it's pointless because why are we still fighting over race? Why are we still fighting over all this stuff? Like we should be collaborating as a world because we're connected as a world through the internet, through what we're doing right now. We're all connected anyways. Why not start acting like it and sharing information and collaborating as a group? But that's going back to the human flaws. We're still flawed. You know, we're on the right track to getting better, but you know, it's still a whole flawed system.
I agree. So obviously we don't have a god or, well, I'm not saying we don't have a god, but we don't have a what you want. As
Yeah,
a
like
king.
a-
we don't have that.
Yeah, ruling over,
So or a physical
person.
god or
Yeah.
whatever you want to believe, or aliens here to be a king. So
Do we have
what would
aliens?
what do you think is the best political system?
The best political system
In
is
your own opinion, that is not ruled by a god. Just
so
like what we
so
have
a
today, like capitalism,
democracy
socialism,
would be
communism,
would be
whatever, maybe.
yeah, I would say democracy would be like what we have now, but the reason our system is so flawed now is because like the whole government is way too powerful right now. Considering the size and the population of the United States, so each state has just a crazy number of people in there. So in the government, they're just not really represented as well. Like we need to give a little bit of power back to the individual states, which we are doing. You know, that's the reason several states have legalized marijuana, and you know,
Oklahoma just did.
yeah, and federally it's still illegal. So they are
And,
letting
there
it
was
slide.
Some about Indiana going to next year.
Yeah.
Medically, I'm gonna hop on that train. Get me a card.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and
Dude, you don't understand. Like all of my stress, anxiety, and worries are gone. Like right after that,
yeah,
because that's all I only have to worry about.
yep, exactly.
That's just dumb as shit.
And then, but yeah, like that's what. So I think our system is decent, but like considering the population of the United States, we just have too much power going towards the government itself, and we need to bring it back a little bit, give a little bit more power to the states. Why is it that federal laws are just governing literally every single thing I do? If I wanna put in a driveway, I have to get a permit through that, and it's like just little things like that. Why is the government even controlling that? Give that
You have to
tiny
get a
power.
permit to put a driveway in your
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Your own land.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
And so, like, you know what I mean? Like, given the power of those stupid little rules like that, give it back to the state. Why is the government controlling literally every decision I ever do? You know what I mean? Like, it should be a little bit more regionalized to states. But obviously not too crazily to where the states have all the power like they did before the Civil War, and we can't be having that again. But we got to draw a line a little bit back than where they have the power right now.
It has to be regulated, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is our problem. The majority of our problem is we just don't regulate things right. But I mean, the majority of time politicians are paid to regulate things wrong and to say
exactly
and to write words and certain ways on documents to make them loopholes and get around them and such, which is upsetting. But it's just the way it is. But I wish it would. But eventually, I feel like it go away because there's stuff that they can't hide. There's people who hack, like WikiLeaks, and then just too much information is.
I also think
they can't hide their bullshit.
I also think that damn near the whole government just needs to be wiped and replaced with all new people.
Well, there's old fucks in there. That's all they are.
Exactly.
Old fucks, and they've been in there since they were young.
Exactly,
and so they've been running the same shit. They just need to die off.
Their way. Or the highway it just can't work that way anymore because we are so informed now more than ever. We are more informed over everything than ever before, and so their flawed ways of even just take marijuana for instance, like saying that how it's a terrible drug and it's illegal and it makes you lazy and everything. Obviously. Anyone can get on the internet and read the facts. Anyone can. So why is that still in the system? You know what I mean? Like, it's because those old people are not letting it go. The 1% running everything, like the pharmacies. They don't want pot legalized because then they're not selling all the pills and
lose a lot of money.
Yeah, they don't want that. But what really should happen is they should legalize it. Then the damn pharmaceutical companies can invest in getting pot things, just
that's what
invest
I was
differently.
Like, why don't you just make their own dispensaries?
Exactly, they could.
Yeah, they have the money.
Yeah,
they have the better start than anyone else because they already have billions and billions of dollars of profit they make every year.
And it's not like it wouldn't make money.
Yeah, and it's marijuana. It'd make a lot more money than the pills.
And even the tobacco industry alone is just fighting it hard.
That too.
And I mean, they're coming out with Juuls and all these other things to still get you hooked on the nicotine. That's their seller. I mean, once you're hooked, you're hooked. Mm-hmm. And so they're still selling. They're like, it's more healthy. You're not gonna get cancer from this, but they still get to sell their products. Mm-hmm. So they're trying hard to keep fighting for what they've got. But again, going back to how informed we are, everyone just knows what tobacco does. It kills you. And so, just things like that, it just shows why the system's all flawed and why it's just fucked up.
People are too interested in the wrong things.
Money, yeah, exactly.
And it's at the expense of millions and millions and billions of people who are oppressed and dumbed down by their own government because the government just wants to make money.
And I could say that we need a whole new slate, but then it's hard to say that those if we did replace it with, like our peers, people who've never been in any of that, it would be hard to say that they wouldn't get influenced the same way those people that were just in there. Someone comes along and says, hey, if you get this passed, I will give you $1 billion. That person, the $1 billion sounds pretty nice just to have some bullshit pass that's not really going to affect them much. The corruptness would still be there is what the hard part is. It's like, even if we did replace everything, the corruption would still creep its way back in.
I just feel like I just think a big switch from getting all those old people out to, I would say, like 20 and 30-year-olds and millennials.
Yeah, it would be a big change.
A lot better place because I feel like we all have. I mean, if you just look at the statistics, the millennials are more independent. They believe in these and just not just.
It takes more
what's the word for it? Anti-establishment. They I can't speak right now. It's too high. But they just have different ideologies, and they understand that we just need to cooperate. We shouldn't be spending all this money on the military and all these loopholes that are not allowing the rich to be taxed.
Just imagine what it would be if we just collaborated all in one world and just disband all countries ever. Like, we would just be sitting on this giant fucking army, and we're like, well, now what? What do we do now? We have no reason for this anymore. We're not fighting anyone. But that's also why we can't ever do that. It's because somebody's gonna get fought. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a human flaw that we have. You know, there's good people and every good person. You know, there's bad too. You know,
and that's why I believe we still should have a military, just not as big as it is.
It's unstoppable, damn near.
It's stupid. It's kind of ridiculous.
America,
but
4th of July, baby, freedom. We're gonna have our AK-47s and just shooting them in the air with fireworks, and eagles will fly over us.
I mean, that sounds amazing. It doesn't mean we need a military budget of $600 million a year.
No, you're right. You're right.
Or plus,
I'm just
more on that.
I'm just fucking around, but so I guess getting into guns a little bit. What do you think of the gun laws? Like, what would be your solution for school shootings and stuff like that?
I don't think it's a gun problem.
Oh, thank God. It isn't a gun problem. It's a mental health problem. Yeah. Yeah, this is why you're my co-host.
You look at the background stories of the children. A lot of them are bullied, oppressed. They don't have friends. They're made fun of.
I mean, it's a crazy thing to say. It's a crazy thing to say that they're
on antidepressants.
Yeah, all of them.
Drugs.
All of them.
ADHD medicine. And it's common, you find, with the people who are doing mass shootings that they have mental problems because they're taking all these medicines for their mental problems.
It's hard to say that people who commit such crazy treachery against humanity, basically, it's hard to say.
They're not saying they're crazy.
Yeah, but it's hard to say that they're a victim. But in reality, that's exactly what they are. They're flaws in their head. They don't have the right shit going on upstairs. If they did, they wouldn't be going that crazy and shooting the place up. So, like, it's just something that we got to recognize more and get those people help before something like that happens.
And the school systems just don't want to deal with it. A lot of times they just send them to another school.
I also think if the change in school systems would happen in our teachings, it would individualize people more, and you would also recognize the signs of like a psychopath, or a school shooter. You would recognize those signs more because it wouldn't be that this person, is in math class or whatever and he never talks so you never even knew or something like that. No, it would be this person is really good at art. He draws pretty good. He likes drawing, so he's going to be more focused on his art shit. He's going to still learn math and he's going to learn those stuff, but just what he needs to know. You know what I mean? And we're going to rely on other people who know that shit. That's how the school system should be working right now. Like, it should be more individualized.
You should have people be working on the skills they're good at.
Exactly.
Their strengths.
Plus, it would make school 10 times more enjoyable.
Because
everyone would love it.
Things you're good at.
Yeah, you're like
if I wish I would start my computer stuff. Well, I mean, I did, but like independently, not with the school.
Yeah.
Like, I wish they would have more opportunities for other things for my computer class instead of taking the same English fucking course since elementary school all the way to a senior year.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the same shit every year, just different types of research papers and different types. There's a section for poems.
Yeah.
You learn the different poems. It was like every year.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just wasting my time.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Let me, work on skills that I could give to employers who need them.
I would say that middle school and elementary school should maybe be more of the same. I would say elementary school.
They stop English at 8th grade.
Yeah.
Except for unless you're going into
unless you like English
and stuff, but they don't.
I would also say that school needs to start later. It needs to start 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. 9 a.m.
I thought you meant later in age, not later in the day.
Later in the day. Just kids are staying up too late and they're not getting the right amount of sleep.
I just think they're taught wrong. I just don't think the kids and people are taught the importance of sleep. Just because sleeping can solve so many health issues in general. Just
if you don't get your sleep, you are literally
you're killing yourself.
Yeah, there's statistical facts that show if you don't get your 8 hours of sleep every day, you are dying almost as fast as if you smoke cigarettes every day.
It's bad for you because if you don't, your body doesn't repair, doesn't get the energy it needs, and so you run off your own body. Your body deteriorates itself
Yeah.
to provide itself energy.
Yeah,
your
and
muscle deteriorates. I mean,
Think
or fat, depending on.
think about
your
it this way:
body
we are
composition, but
we are the only species on the entire planet, in the whole planet, we are the only species that willingly loses sleep. They're back at steel. Isn't that crazy though to think about? Like everything else in nature realizes the importance of sleep and does not miss sleep unless I said willingly. Of course, there could be some sleeping elephants or something. A pack of lions come and fucking pounce them. Obviously, they're gonna lose sleep on that, but.
yeah, but
Willingly,
that's
they
different.
were
It's
sleeping.
like consistently losing sleeping. Like you're
Exactly.
sleeping 4 or 3 hours every night, kind of thing. Like
Me.
you don't sleep one night. Like
Yeah.
I get my sleep every night, but like Saturday night I didn't go to bed because I stay up all night because I tripped.
Yeah.
But I mean that's just one day. It's not gonna kill me.
Yeah.
I just slept really long the next night. got
Actually, it
my-
could kill you.
just a one day.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy to you just gotta look into this shit. Sleep is so everyone thinks there's the pillars of health. It's what is it? Exercise, diet, and I think the third pillar might be sleep actually. But everyone thinks that they're standing independently. No, how it is fucking sleep is the base of both of the pillar of diet and exercise. Sleep is the most important thing over your diet, over exercise.
I agree.
And really, most people are like, I want to lose some weight. All you really have to do is eat right. Everyone's like, I don't got time to go to the gym. Honestly, exercising is one of the lower things that you should be doing. You need to get off your butt and go do something for an hour a day. Yeah, you have to do that.
And we do taekwondo.
Yeah.
And I stretch and do some
Exactly. We
exercises
we
every
have to
now
get
and then.
up and move. We have to. That's
Mhm.
what we're meant to do. But
And I board
eating
too.
right, if you want to lose weight, just eat right. Just eat right. That's all you
See,
got to do.
I have no sympathy for fat people, to be honest.
Like
Like there are rare cases like where they do have like problems where like they can't lose weight, but a lot it's I do have a little bit of sympathy because a lot of times people are just told. I mean, this concept goes with like people who are depressed and stuff and given antidepressants.
Yeah.
So like, it's just genetics, or you're just depressed because you have an imbalance. I'm like, yeah,
No.
you have an imbalance in hormones because
You're
you're
eating like
traumatized
crazy.
like with depression. You might have a reason to be depressed. The serotonin levels are fucked up because you're upset about something. You don't need drugs to fix those serotonin
But
levels. You
also-
need to see therapy to see what was wrong and accept whatever happened.
Also,
in
your
your life.
serotonin levels change with your diet too. You eat right, you're more happy.
It's just crazy the difference of feeling I get when I eat. Where I'm just so much more motivated.
I
I
eat-
want to do things.
I eat like shit
grind
this whole
hard as
weekend.
fuck.
I just ate like trash the whole weekend.
I ate
Drinking
kinda
beer, eating
both.
pizza,
It was
just
kinda
getting
both.
crazy. And today I feel like shit. I feel awful today. I look at eating bad a little bit more now, like almost like drinking to me now. I'm just like, well, I could, but I'm gonna hurt tomorrow. I could eat that pizza, but it's gonna suck tomorrow. That's kind of how
That's how
exactly
I
it is.
feel.
Yeah, I'm like, I could eat that, but it's just I'm gonna feel like shit. And you will. You don't realize the amount of how much you're overeating carbs and sugars until you just
Well,
you have
they're addictive too. and
yeah,
so what
they're
happens,
more
you eat
addictive
'em,
than cocaine.
And then your insulin levels rise, and when your insulin levels rise, there's a more percentage chance to store those carbs as fat in your fat cells, and that's what gets you fat. And then when those insulin levels lower, your leptin levels lower, and that makes you want to. It's either they raise or they lower. I can't remember. Whatever way the leptin level goes, it makes you more hungry again. Just a couple hours later, and then you eat more carbs, and it's just a vicious cycle.
Don't quote me on this, but I want to say, so when they have daylight savings time where it changes an hour, what is it? You lose an hour in the spring.
I don't know which one it is.
Spring forward an hour. I don't remember.
It's one of
Whatever
them.
time you lose the hour of sleep, the increase of heart diseases goes up like 25%. Because you're losing that hour of sleep, and then when you get the hour of sleep back, it goes down 20-some%. I don't know the exact. I want to say 27%. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know it was in the 20s, which is just crazy. Just it's so mind-blowing what a simple hour will get you. But the reason it is because your body takes that long to go through the process of resetting itself. So you go into sleep, you don't start hitting your main healthful regeneration sleep until I want to say in the 5 hours range.
Well, it actually is cycles. You go through different cycles.
Yeah. And it's not until the very end of the 8 hours until where you're getting the shit that you really needed.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, so cutting it back to 7 hours is still, you're not getting everything. You need 7 to 9. 8 hours is good, but 9 hours is best. But
That's why I go to sleep like 10, 11 every day, and I get up at like 7, 8, or 9, depending on the day. But I go to work. I make sure I always get my sleep because it's important. Because I don't want to be 50 years old and my body be decrepit because I didn't sleep enough.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have, and also a huge reduce in Alzheimer's and just many other health defects because your body just repairs itself when it sleeps.
Yeah, exactly.
Just allow it to repair itself. It'd be amazing how healthy you can be.
I mean, just look at like all the presidents before and afters. That's because they're definitely not getting 8 hours of sleep.
You look at Barack Obama before and after his presidency.
He aged probably 10 years.
Yeah,
In his first term. In his first term.
It was bad. He looked fucked. He looked like he literally just got old over night. And it's only 8 years, and he aged fast.
Exactly, and I guarantee it's because they're not sleep well. Among other stress too,
and
but
anxiety.
But like the sleep, I guarantee they're not getting 8 hours of sleep. They might be.
Trump might be though. He don't seem to be doing shit.
He is doing a lot.
He likes to go golfing every now and then and shit. Just
so did all the other presidents.
Well, no, he was like skipping like events or like conferences or something, like going golfing. Like he had things planned on the weekend and he went golfing.
That's a little crazy.
Shit like that.
I got a little bit of respect for Trump just because I feel like he actually is listening to the people more so than I would say Barack, more so than Bush, and those are the only two presidents that I've lived to ever see. So, like, I feel this way because even going into that whole thing on Trump of how he was splitting up immigrant families, you know, so like. If they were illegal immigrants, he was like splitting up the family and sending them somewhere and sending the kids somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
He went back on that and it fixed that and said, well, if you're caught illegally, we're sending your whole family now. We're just shipping everyone out, which I got some respect for. He seen that it immediately blew up. Everyone was outraged, rightfully. Whether you're here illegally or not, you shouldn't be splitting up families, good families. I mean, sometimes families need split up when they're too crazy or something, but, you know, or hurting each other or something like that.
Well, in that case, people just need to go to jail.
Yeah, exactly. But so he went back on that, and, you know, I'm no Trump expert or advocate or whatever, but I would just say that so far from what I'm seeing, he's done the most of what he said he was going to do versus anyone.
Well, I mean, a lot of the stuff he said he was going to do wasn't really well. He contradicted himself a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, he did.
He says a lot of things and says something else the next time. He doesn't remember anything he says, to be honest. He just says words. He just word vomits.
Yeah, he really doesn't give a fuck what he says. Yeah. He does not. But that's why I'd say so far I got a little bit of respect for him so far as a president, just because he is listening. To an extent, he wouldn't have went back on that.
I just wish we would worry about something else in immigration. You know,
You're right.
There's a place, it was in the West. I don't know what state it was, but they're having unemployment, or not unemployment problems, but not enough people to work their jobs anymore after this whole immigrant deportation stuff going on because of Trump and everything. They don't have enough workers to work a lot. It was mainly like fields and stuff.
Yeah,
but
well...
they are not having enough workers to work their plantations or whatever the hell. It's just jobs in general. But
I think that's kind of all right to me, because if they were illegally working there, that's all right to me. But I also don't think it should be as crazy to become a citizen as it is. I think you go through background checks. They do all of that stuff, but then like they got to know U.S. history that most Americans don't even know. Stuff like that. I think they got to name all the presidents or some shit. I don't know all the presidents. Do you?
I did at one point. Back
Who
in,
the
like,
hell
5th
knows
grade,
that? It's
but I don't
useless
remember.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Why are they making them know that? Stuff like that. That's stupid. Why is that a requirement to be a citizen when I would vouch to say 90% of America doesn't know those answers? That's stupid to me. But I also think that, they should have to go through citizenship to be here.
I don't think they should be deported. I think they just should be allowed to continue to work and then get them in a program to be legal citizens and pay their taxes and stuff.
But then it's hard to... It's like that's probably the easiest way to do it is to deport them and have them come back as a citizen.
I mean, I don't think it'd be that hard.
You're probably... I mean, we have the
If
resources
they
to
just-
make it happen.
We have plenty of resources to make
Exactly.
anything happen, to be honest.
Exactly,
It's just the government. We're also backed up. Like I think it was mainly California is the one I was looking up. They're backed up like years upon years of like immigrant like cases and deportations.
Oh, just of like all the people that need to get deported.
People are
or
waiting
whatever.
years to just see their case just for them to get deported. And not even that, it gets even worse. Like
But in that time, they could do like you said. Like if it's my case is in years or whatever, and I'm about to have to ship up my family or whatever, you better believe I'd be like getting it fucking done to become a citizen. Like if they're like you got a year before.
well, sometimes they don't.
case comes
it
on.
takes too long.
Yeah.
It just takes too long.
But I see what
It's
you're
not an
saying.
easy
How it's
process.
just crazy backed up. They can't be having that.
Well, not only that, it gets even more fucked up than that. There was a story on a child, like a 3-year-old child who had to go to court, and their parents didn't have enough money for a lawyer, so it was literally just a child, just up there.
Can we even do that? I don't even think
They
you can
did?
do that.
They did somehow. I don't remember all the legalities of it, but it happened. They had. I watched the video and everything.
I wonder what the age is for a
It was
person
just-
to go to
It was
court.
a child. I don't know. It was just illegal, or the child was illegal, I guess. But
Like, what age is juvie? I wonder.
I have no idea.
Like start to like when would you go to juvie? What age was the start? Like, if a 3-year-old tripped and stabbed his mom or something, like, is he going to juvie? You know what I mean? Like, what?
I have no idea.
If he can
The
go
legal
to, if he
system's
can
fucked
take
up
the
in many
stand or
ways,
whatever,
but
that's just crazy.
I
did
don't know
not
if it was a 3-year-old. It could have been a couple years older than that, but it wasn't much. Like, it was around that
a young
age.
kid. Yeah,
It was kind of sad.
yeah. So like, but yeah, but then again, I feel like a little bit of tighter borders or secured borders, I guess, would help reduce terrorism. Well, not really. I wouldn't even say terrorism because obviously we're not getting attacked, but like drugs. I feel like it would reduce drugs. But then again, also just legalizing all drugs would do the same thing. So it's just hard to say
It
that.
just needs to be regulated. It doesn't need to treat it to be. They don't. People who do the drugs, it shouldn't be a criminal thing. It should be a health issue,
Yeah,
and they should be treated.
yeah.
But a lot of times, people turn to drugs because of mental health issues.
You're right.
They're depressed. They don't know what the hell to do with their life, and a lot of
Mhm.
the reasons like that is because of the government. People
Yeah.
are just when people are born in poverty. A lot of people are just at a disadvantage.
I think personally, the war on drugs needs to stop, and
That should have been never
all-
started. It was
all
done.
drugs I think need to be legalized, and this is what I would do. So legalize heroin, but the people who are going to be doing heroin have to go to this clinic to get heroin, and each time they go in there, they have to have a talk with like a psychist or a psych ward dude or something of the sort, and talk about their problems that they got going on or something like that. And so every time they're going in there to get heroin, they're basically kind of getting like a guilt trip each time. I feel like it would help them mentally. I feel like also they're not going to OD because they have to go to this clinic to get what they need. I mean, obviously you're still going to have it on the streets because it's there. But you know what I mean? Like, I think it would help with overdoses. I think it would help with mental health, mental illnesses. I think it would help our prison systems would stop being so fucking full, and we could actually focus on
You just
putting away
release all-
people like pedophiles forever.
Mhm.
we can solve more problems of actual problems instead of this guy's drugged up.
Yeah.
Fuck his life up. Okay, yeah, he's doing a crazy shit, and I mean, as long as he's not hurting anyone else and he's just doing these drugs, go let him do those drugs. Obviously, he's doing them anyways, but go give it to him. Give those drugs to him. Make sure he can't overdose.
Make sure you're not using dirty needles, spreading diseases.
Exactly. You know,
give him the option for like a therapist or something.
And
set up programs to help people.
Set up the program. Set up that, they're getting this stuff. All right, well, if you want to come here to get it, you have to go through this program or something of the sort. Or maybe then they wouldn't do it. I don't know. But that's how I would do it. I would just legalize it all. Just be done with it. Legalize all of it. Stop focusing all of our police efforts on something like this.
Not only that,
it would wreck the cartels.
Yes.
It would wreck the cartels. What would they do for money?
Because, I mean, they just live off the black market.
That's all they live off of is drugs and everything. All the cartels would have to come up with a way better source of income. Guns, maybe, but then, I mean, there's already so many guns. Who's going to really need more guns?
I agree. But then also, like, legalizing all the drugs would help just society because allowing LSD and shrooms and other
would allow
psychedelics to be used for, like, science and treatments and therapy. Like,
we're just now starting back up all our research on psychedelics that was started way back in, the 60s and 70s. And they're discovering the real benefits of psychedelics, helping PTSD, helping all these problems, and it's the best cure for all of it.
And there's this one called I can't remember, Ibogaine or something like that, or I can't remember, but it's also psychedelic, but it's one that can help with like withdrawals. Like you take like a certain amount of it. It won't be fun.
Oh, the drink thing?
Well,
it's not ayahuasca. Ayahuasca helps with
it's
withdrawals.
Like Ibogaine, I think it's called, or something like
that.
I
think I know what you're talking about, but
it completely like resets your like sensors, your neurotransmitters.
It
completely just become sober and not go through withdrawals, and your levels are normal.
The success rate of it, I think, is over 90%.
Coke.
Yeah, exactly.
Meth.
I want to say the success rate of it is over 90%, which in the medical field, if you want to have anything passed, you have to have a success rate of over 90%. And I mean, it's just they're throwing the facts right at them, but like it goes back to all the old fucks in government. They're like, we're not legalizing it, even though we now understand how awesome it is, how awesome all these drugs.
We don't even fully understand
when
it yet.
Used medicinally, not abused.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, they get abused.
Well, I mean, people are going to do it, but
and
some aren't necessarily bad to be abused. But I mean, some are like crack and cocaine, but not like LSD and shrooms. I mean, they can have negative effects, but it just depends on the person. But I feel like once we get to a place in society like that, society will just be better in general, just with LSD and shrooms, just opening people's minds, and the government and our democracy would be heading in the right direction, obviously, if we're legalizing all this stuff. So the world or our country would just be in a better place.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think it's just crazy how much of a success rate just psilocybin mushrooms have on, like, PTSD and all these things. And even
marijuana, too.
Yeah, even marijuana.
You don't need to take LSD to do that. Just marijuana help.
But shrooms, even though some people say they're like, it was a horrible time, I hated shrooms, I will never do it again, but they still admit that it helped them with whatever issue they had. It helped them, and now their issue is resolved.
Yeah.
Even if it was a horrible time for them, for the 6 hours at most that you're on it, you're tripping balls and you're scared for your life, at the end of it, they are even admitting that they're like, it was the worst 6 hours of my life, but I am better now.
Yeah, because it brings all the sadness or whatever, the suppressed emotions you feel out in the open. Literally, sometimes visually, you literally see whatever you're feeling. I mean, it only makes sense when you trip it. I don't know, it's crazy drugs, but and you learn to overcome it and accept it. But some people don't, and that's where it goes bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, the trip might not be fun, but like in the long term, you'll be happier, better. I mean, that's assuming you have mental problems like depression. You're depressed for reasons, but I mean, if you're fine, then they're just fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But yeah, like I said, I mean, we're just now breaking into the research that was started a long time ago, and it really is opening minds to people. And I mean, I think medicinal psilocybin is on the ballot to get legalized medically. I want to say in California, but I don't know for sure on that. But you know, like those drugs are just because of how informed we all are, and we're calling all these senators and all this shit on their bullshit, saying no, look, this is illegal and it shouldn't be, and that
here's the
it's
facts.
Working. Yeah, it's
And
working.
here's all the
but
studies.
it's just taking too long. We are changing faster than our government is willing to change.
They're not willing to change because they're tied into everything else. The way things are with money and greed.
We need oil. We need oil right now. No, what
they don't need that. They just want money.
We need to find a new source of fucking fuel. Is what we need to find.
We have plenty. We can. We have geothermal fuel. We're just heat from the earth. We got solar energy. That's unlimited fuel every fucking day.
Exactly.
We just work on that. We can make solar panels even more efficient eventually once we like discover new things. We just put our time and money into researching that. We can make them way more efficient. And then we can just power everything off that. We can stop burning coal and put fumes in the air.
Yeah.
We can put solar panels on our cars. We don't even have to charge them. Put solar panels on them. The fucking sun will charge it, and when you're driving, it'll be fully charged because you're driving and the sun's on it. It's still charging and using energy at the same time, so nothing happens. And then you don't drive it, and if you go to sleep at night, the battery will be full because it charged all day.
I'm like, is there a way to damn near make like a self-sufficient car to where like the front wheels are powering it? Like it has a motor. The front wheels are powering it, and the back wheels are running off of the turning motion, creating more power. But like you couldn't. It's impossible to make a perfect vehicle that is the input and output's the same.
Yeah.
You would definitely burn more than what you're making, but it's like how far would that fucking go? I kind of wonder.
I think they do that. Tesla does it. I think with their trucks and cars. When you brake, it creates energy and it stores
God damn, am I the next Elon Musk?
No, they already knew it.
I'm having genius ideas, and they're stealing them from me. What time are we at?
We're 47 minutes in, so we got like 10, 13 minutes left.
Yeah, this episode is going to be a little bit shorter since we don't have our research done and we're slacking on some super interesting topics, so we're still trying to have some good discussion and throw some ideas out at you guys.
We're just being opinionated or opinion based questions about politics, drugs, whatever it may be. Just maybe see our point of view and see how we think, but there's definitely a lot of research.
So what would you do about guns though?
Nothing.
As a gun
just more
problem.
Background checks. Just you have to have a better way to background check. You gotta check everything.
What would you do about gun-free zones?
Like what? Like the
like
mall
schools,
or something?
malls, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I think it'd be fine if we just dealt with mental illness the way it's supposed to be dealt with.
You're right.
Not just sending them to different school because they're bad. They're not bad. They got problems that they need dealt with up here, whether it be a bad home life, traumatizing experience, or being bullied or raped, whatever it may be. I don't think the gun-free zones are a bad thing. It's just the kids.
I do. I think gun-free zones are a bad thing.
I mean, they could be. I mean, at this point, I feel like we need them because we aren't handling mental illness the way it should be, and so therefore, things are happening where you would need guns so you can protect yourselves and they don't kill tens of hundreds of kids a year.
Yeah.
Because one person didn't have a gun and someone came in and shot everyone up. I mean, I feel like the teacher. I mean, you don't even need teachers to even have guns. Just fucking. My school had police officers. Had like 2 or 3.
Exactly. I mean,
and they
just
had, I don't even know if they have guns. They had tasers at least.
look at
like,
all
that'll
the
stop
look at all the
someone,
shootings.
Trust me.
The shootings are at gun-free zones. That-
Schools.
Yeah, schools,
Movie theaters.
Mhm.
There's one
All
a couple
those
of movie theaters.
gun-free zones is where they're at. So they go into a place where they're like, no one's shooting back at me. I'm fucking everyone up. So I don't think gun-free zones is a way to go about it. What I think,
Well, maybe gun-free zones, but maybe secured with police officers or something.
then it's not a gun-free zone. See
Well,
what
I mean,
see what like,
gun-free zone to the public, like civilians, just not
maybe.
officers.
I could agree with that. I could
like not
I would,
teachers and stuff.
Yeah,
but-
I would roll with that. Have a trained person with a gun. Yeah, I would much rather to have that than fucking willy-nilly who's just gonna hear a fucking pencil crack behind him and just start shooting the place up because he's so terrified.
Because to be honest, I don't know if I could trust teachers, even if they were like trained. Because sometimes some teachers are just too emotional. They
And
don't know
snap,
what to do.
yeah.
They freeze. And
Which
then
I mean, they have a crazy job too. You know,
mean, yeah.
dealing with crazy fucking punk kids.
I'd be stressful.
You're right. That's why I would agree. I would agree with that.
I'd feel like I'd hurt them. I couldn't be a teacher.
Yeah,
I'd have to be
yeah.
a professor.
I'd have to roundhouse a kid.
Yes, you learn the taekwondo I'm learning.
Yes.
Whoop 'em with it.
Fucking beat some ass. But yeah, I just don't think gun-free zones is a good option. I think there needs to be guns. I mean, it's hard. I go back to this quote of, God made everyone, but Samuel Colt made everyone equal. Basically, the peacemaker of the West, everyone had one strapped to their side.
Mhm.
That's what that means. Is like, yo, you may talk shit, but I have a gun too. That was a crazy ass time. Everyone was shooting everyone. Kinda.
Yeah, but there wasn't regulation and laws and technology.
There
like
was
is
definitely
nowadays.
no shootings of mass craziness.
It was
I'm
just
gonna
like one
fuck you
person,
up,
yeah, just
and
people
then
getting in
or
fights and shit.
someone pulls a gun in a bar, and then everyone else is pulling their gun. Like,
It's
what
like,
the fuck are you
shoot,
doing?
and you're
Yeah,
dead.
yeah. See what I mean? Like that would solve school shooting problems at the right now. At the right now.
That's why.
But
I
I
would
completely agree that it is a mental health problem, but you also got to look at it as it's just so fucked up, our mental health problem, and there's just not enough being done that it's going to be years before we get an established system in place that helps the people who need help.
I
But
agree.
until then,
And I think a lot at this point, it's just hopefully you just got a good teacher or a good principal that
Yeah.
cares.
yeah,
And so a lot of times it's hard to come by those people because teachers aren't just paid enough.
exactly.
And that means they care a lot less about their job. It's kind of just like a routine to them.
They have to put up with bullshit. It's the same as a guy in a cubicle who has to put up with the shitty boss,
Mhm.
and just gets yelled at all the time. Has to do whatever and listen to whatever. It's
And they don't get paid enough. And
Yeah.
they're like, man, I'm getting this shit pay, and I'm just sitting here just getting bitched out. I don't get paid enough for this. And
Yeah.
then it just creates stress and anxiety in their minds, but because then they're like, well, I don't know what to do, and so they can just stay at the same job for the rest of their life, and it's just unhappiness. And just-
exactly. And also goes back to
alcoholism.
mental health.
Yeah.
Causes mental health problems, depression, all of that. But you kind of get what I'm coming at, where I would say that gun-free zones is a bad thing. Like,
well, I feel like I'd be fine with not having gun-free zones, because I feel like you said, if I had a gun, I would feel safe, because if someone was going to start a mass shooting, I have a gun to take care of him,
yeah,
and I
I-
trust a lot of people to be able to handle the stuff. To be able to
I
handle
think
the
it
guns, and if
I think
everyone
we-
has a gun, no one's going to want to shoot anyone because they're going to get shot.
goes back to giving the power a little bit back to the people. Let the strong protect the weak. It will happen. It will. The strong will protect the weak. It's always happened. It always goes that way. So let it be that way. Let the people who want to carry guns, who are permitted to carry guns, trained individuals, let them. You know what I mean?
I want my gun. I'm gonna hopefully get a gun this year too.
And so what? I don't want a gun in the hands of everyone. Like I said, I don't want willy-nilly who's never shot a gun ever to be carrying and opening fire when someone else opens fire. They'll hit the wrong person. They'll shoot someone that's not intended. I don't want any of that. I want people who like guns, who know how to use the gun safely, to have them and to be able to protect themselves, their persons, and the weak. If someone opens up, starts shooting down into a crowd, and I have a gun, of course, I would probably shoot that guy. I'm not going to take off running. I'll probably get shot, you know? So that's where I'd say, like I said, let the strong protect the weak. It will happen.
And I feel like not having guns-free zones would be fine, but then again, I feel like if we just solved like a lot of problems or like figured them out and tried to work towards fixing them, we wouldn't even be having a discussion about gun-free zones.
You're
we
right.
wouldn't have the problem of mass shootings.
You're right. I completely
we take
agree.
care of our children and we give them therapy if they need therapy. We talk to them, understand what they're going through, whatever it may be, and help them through whatever traumatizing situation it is.
Exactly.
And that way they don't go crazy and they don't shoot up people and just go to jail for the rest of their life.
Exactly.
They're just going to be crazier. Then they'll probably just die in jail.
I mean, what the people want is attention anyways. So give them the attention. Help them.
They obviously don't get it because whether it be their family or schools, no friends.
Something's fucked up with them and they're going through some crazy shit. It takes a lot for a person to snap like that, you know. Obviously it's a big build up and stuff, so it's like,
see, I was like, I couldn't kill anyone unless they gave me a reason to. Like,
shooting
at me or my family.
I'm not gonna go kill an innocent person. That will never happen. I will never murder.
Well, that's
anyone.
what I'm saying. Is like I could never imagine it, so I can only imagine how crazy and like mentally destructive they've destroyed themselves mentally,
to where they're targeting
have destroyed them mentally.
Yeah,
that they're want to kill these people.
Yeah,
like they genuinely, sincerely just want to go and shoot and kill hundreds of children and teachers.
Yeah,
like I could never imagine. So
exactly.
Really
it's hard to wrap your mind around it because you got your shit right upstairs, you know.
But they don't. So
they
must be really messed up, and they just need help through all of it.
They do. They really do. Well, what time is it? I think
we got a couple minutes, so we could probably just.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up instead of getting into anything else on this. So next week we might have a guest, we might not. I gotta double check, make sure. And
what's her name? Do we have it? What's her name? Do you know it?
I don't remember. It's a hard name to pronounce, I think.
But she's gonna come in and talk about like
suicides and
mental illness.
Yeah, she's the spearhead of the suicide prevention here at IPFW or Purdue Fort Wayne or whatever the fuck it is now.
Purdue Fort Wayne now since it's past July 1st.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it is. But
also medical or recreational marijuana was legalized yesterday in Canada.
Yeah, I'd seen that actually, that they nationwide.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, they're
so jealous. I'm like,
they're figuring it out.
I could get thrown in jail and given a felony here.
Yeah, be fucked for life.
I wouldn't be able to own a gun. I wouldn't be able to vote or be to select a few jobs. It'd be horrible, just because I smoked pot or something.
Yeah,
it's sad. It really is.
But like I said, we're turning around. It's just we're changing faster, and our government is willing to. We're getting there. Some shit's changing, some shit's not. But like I said, we're hoping to have a guest next week. We'll be on Sunday at 7. And that's about it for this week. This is the long trip. Thanks for tuning in.